Tonight on CTV News, SOS, a famous local boat, remains stuck on the Waimak River. Are the days of smoking numbered? We've got the latest data. And Rhino Day at Orana Wildlife Reserve.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening, welcome to CTV News, now live streaming every night at ctv.co.nz. Well, a sad day for one historic ship known for being lucky, but its luck run out. Today saw the end of the journey for the MV Tuhoi, coming aground at the mouth of the Waimakariri River. The ship's trust is now tasked with deciding what next for the boat, as Jared McCulloch explains.
Sad news for one of the region's oldest ships.
Tuhoi's always been known as a lucky ship, and it's referred to in correspondence over the years. But unfortunately, yesterday, I think her luck finally ran out.
The MV Tuhoi became grounded at the mouth of the Waimakariri River yesterday afternoon when a wave pushed the ship off course and into the shoreline.
That's something that can happen. It's unexpected. As far as I'm aware, all procedures were being followed, and the channel had been sounded for depth, and there appeared to be sufficient water to enter the river.
It was hoped the ship could be saved tonight when high tide came in.
It's a long way out there, as you can see. They have to feed out a very fine line first, and then they feed out a heavier line, and then they attach that to the two trawlers.
But it's no longer a rescue, but a recovery.
We are pretty devastated. I described it as the worst day of my life earlier today.
The historic ship had 11 on board, making its way to Kaipoi from Littleton Dry Docks after being in for a service.
We took 6 off, so there's a skeleton crew of 5 on there now, and they'll stay there until the until the retrieval is attempted.
The ship had just been repainted. It had a rebuilt section on the starboard hull, a new floor framing coming in at a total cost of $250,000, all given through grants.
There's been so much work, blood, sweat and tears put into the ship over the years. It's coming up 96 years of age, and we were hoping to still be sailing at 100. That was the aim, but it appears that's not to be.
Built in 1919, the Kaipoi Rivertown Trust have looked after the ship since 2004, an icon to the town. It does have insurance, but most of the cost will go to the clean-up efforts. It was always going to be a tricky task to get it back into the ocean.
These little ships are renowned for running aground in harbours like this.
Locals took the time to make their way out to see firsthand what was happening with the nearly century-old ship, a new sight whilst fishing, but it won't be the last time they'll see it. It's early days yet, but the Trust hope to salvage what they can and possibly put it on display to the public. It may be the last voyage, but the history will live on. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
A man has been arrested for extortion in relation to letters saying children would be harmed if money wasn't given. The male youth was arrested yesterday for allegedly writing and sending threatening letters to families in Mount Pleasant in June. Police say the families are relieved that the youth will be held to account for the stress caused to the community. He will appear in court on Thursday. Well, what are the chances of New Zealand being smoke-free by 2025? Well, numbers supplied to the Ministry of Health by New Zealand tobacco manufacturers shows a drop of nearly 4% in sales of smokes over the past 12 months. Gordon Finlater has more.
The returns show average cigarette consumption has declined 6.3% per year since 2010, equating to a 23% decline over the 5 years. So what has brought about the decrease in smokers? Christchurch District Health Board Smoke-Free Manager Vivian Daly believes there's a number of reasons, but a game changer has been the banning of smoking in hospitality.
We've had smoke-free hospitality venues, pubs and bars and cafes. Now we're looking at the outdoor areas of those hospitality venues, so it's kind of like expanding it really. Smokers have less and less places to go to actually smoke, and while I do understand that people are addicted and they need support to quit, it is making it harder for people to smoke. Hopefully we're making it easier for them to actually quit at the same time.
With many now deciding it's too cold to go outside to light up, the social element has a flow-on effect.
The less and less people that are going outside to smoke, the less that the social group kind of moves outside, the more those people, the smaller those groups are becoming, and the more they're reconsidering their decision to smoke. So I think we've got good momentum actually.
And Daly is hoping that momentum can eventually lead to the end goal of a smoke-free New Zealand.
We have a government goal of being a smoke-free Aotearoa by 2025, which gives us like 10 years. Unless we kind of up the ante, we're probably not going to make it. We're going to miss the goal by some few percentage points. So we do need to start looking at how we can ramp things up even further in the next 10 years.
The decline in smoking isn't restricted to just New Zealand, with many developed countries now curbing the addiction with more knowledge on health issues.
Globally, as the tobacco industries are moving their point of focus onto developing countries, because I think they've realised they've kind of done their dash in the developed countries. So where smoking is growing, where smoking rates are growing, are in the developing countries basically. And obviously the countries with few resources to combat this, and giving single cigarettes to 10-year-old kids in Africa in the hope that they will get hooked and become the next group of smokers. It's a bit immoral in my view, but let's, believe where things are going internationally, yeah.
One step to reducing smoking numbers that's gaining traction internationally is the implementation of plain packs. The plain packs see brand recognition destroyed, with all cigarette packs being a plain colour in the hope to reduce marketability.
Outcomes in Australia, where they bought plain packs in a few years ago now, have shown really, really good outcomes in terms of less people smoking. It's much easier for smokers to quit when they don't have those other subliminal sort of messages going in, and it's much less attractive for young people to pick it up when they've got a drab old green looking packet as opposed to a nice branded thing with a nice image on it.
Another effective strategy has been to hit the consumer in the pocket. Daly believes the simple but effective measure will be one of the key components to achieving their goal.
The tax hikes are actually really, really effective in terms of reducing people smoking and encouraging people to quit. And we've been lucky enough in New Zealand to have regular tax hikes for the last 4 years, and the last one of these comes up in January 2016. So if we can get those sorts of initiatives to be ongoing and even bigger hikes, we could really crack the smoke-free 2025 goal. Yeah.
Gordon Findlater, CTV News.
And today the council started putting up smoke-free stickers along most bus stops in Central City. Well, still to come, Kaiapoi students test their strength like never before. Welcome back to CTV News. Forestry, a $5 billion industry and a Christchurch technology company, believes it can more than double that number. Chelsea Daniels explains.
A Christchurch company is leading the way in making the forestry industry more safe and profitable for New Zealand.
We've been developing the Hitman tool for about 15 years now, and this hand tools that the guys need to use on the ground, and we're just putting that technology into a harvester head so it'll be fully automated.
Well, here in Glentui, Canterbury, their goal is 200 tonnes of wood each and every day in all weather conditions, as you can see here, only making conditions for the workers even more unsafe. Nigel Sharplin of Fibergen says last year alone, 10 people lost their lives in the industry, a completely avoidable number.
In most countries around the world, forestry harvesting operations are fully automated. You're not allowed men on the ground. In New Zealand, unfortunately, we've got some pretty tough conditions, a lot of hill country, and it makes it pretty tough, but this type of technology that we've developed means that we can get people in cabs away from danger.
And he says we can use the best wood products in the Christchurch rebuild, shipping the rest off to overseas buyers.
So the Hitman technology is all about getting the right wood to the right processing operation. Currently, when trees are harvested, there's no way of measuring the quality of the wood, and so the logs are sent to a wood processor and we don't extract the most value out of that. So this technology enables forestry companies to measure the wood and send it to the right mill and make sure that they get the most value.
He says the new technology brings not only substantial financial benefits, but it reduces risk to life in the forestry industry.
We're trying to bring technology that puts the worker back in the cab, so we've developed automatic testing equipment for measuring log properties.
It's a Canterbury product developed by local researchers and technology experts, and it's gained worldwide recognition.
Hitman technology has been a collaborative effort by research organisations, and a lot of forestry companies in New Zealand have helped us to develop this technology.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Keeping fit can be tough for many working Cantabrians, and some local students will make you feel even worse knowing they've succeeded by pulling not one but two fire trucks down one of Kaiapoi's busiest streets. Here's Jared McCulloch.
It's not something you see every day, but it's been on the minds of these students taking on the ultimate challenge. The program Cactus sees students from year 9 to 13 working to improve their skills both physically and mentally as they take on boot camp challenges, building up to their final task, pulling not one but two fire trucks.
Really hard. I felt so dead, but it was good. It was worth it.
These guys have turned up at about 6:20 for 10 weeks, and they'll go from 6:20 till 7:30. On the first day, there's a lot of them that absolutely hate it. A few tears, a few people vomiting, almost passing out, but they come back and they get fitter.
And although pulling fire trucks is tough, getting up early, well, that's another challenge in itself.
I slept through my alarm a couple of times. I had to get the mother to come wake me up, but about the third or fourth week into it, you just start getting used to it. You start looking forward to getting up.
The kids that didn't know each other at the start, and now they're sort of all friends and they'll be like that. It's sort of something they've done together, and they'll know each other. You'll probably see them when they're 25, 30 walking down the road, and I did the Cactus program with them.
The cause first took shape further north in Blenheim a few years back, developed by the Police Blue Light Youth Scheme. Well over 200 students have taken part from Kaiapoi High School over the past 2 years, aiming to succeed.
They probably couldn't do 5 press-ups. They'll go out and bust out 200 in a short space of 10 weeks. So not only that sort of side of fitness, but the whole team thing, but their schoolings also help with it.
So I didn't find the physical side of it challenging, but I found waking up early in the morning, being a team, because I do individual sports, so working together with all different range of abilities, which was quite good.
I've just been wanting to do it for a long time. Since I first see them pulling the fire truck and stuff, I was like, that's a good challenge for me, and because I want to go into the police force and stuff.
And it's been so popular, some pupils have gone through the program more than once.
This is actually my second time doing it. I was privileged enough to have the opportunity to do this again. It's just a sense of achievement for finishing something that you'd never think you'd be able to finish. But I mean, also it's just to get your fitness levels up, and it's just to really just improve on yourself.
We used to have an ex-army instructor take it. Now we've got Ken Franks from CrossFit taking it. So different sort of focuses, but equally as hard, and the same sort of philosophy behind it.
And after their exhausting day, some would still be keen for round 2.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Yes, definitely would.
So their next challenge may be 3 fire trucks?
The council said we're not allowed 3.
But for now, it's time for rest and a job well done. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
The man alleged to have cut off his monitoring bracelet and going on the run over the weekend has denied the charge. Police say Patrick McGreevy went on the run from a 10-year extended supervision order on Saturday morning and was found and arrested later that day. McGreevy is being held in custody until Wednesday, when a date will be set for a bail hearing. It's one of many animals threatened by extinction, but Arana Wildlife Park is hoping to change that, showcasing the good and the not so good about the rhino. Jared McCulloch reports.
Kids making gifts for their local rhinos. It's all part of an international awareness day for the beloved animal at Orana Wildlife Park.
We are celebrating all things rhino, so we've got a few things set up just to spread awareness really of what is happening to the rhinos and really just get people involved and see the good and the bad side of what's happening to our rhinos. They are declining at quite a fast rate and the poaching is getting more and more, so we are losing our rhinos unfortunately. If nothing happens, they will become extinct before we know it.
Latest statistics show just under 750 rhinos have died this year alone in South Africa due to the black market poaching. Their goal, the animal's horn. It's a big business in some cultures, grinding the horn down to make dust and used to cure people.
Exactly the same stuff as our fingernails, so it's a bit ironic that it is actually getting removed and thought to be a wonder drug as such, but it is no more than fingernail, and unfortunately that is what is killing them off.
But they're confident the rhinoceros can be saved with more organisations popping up to do what they can.
Yeah, there's a lot more facilities and fundraisings and things like that. They're trying to spread much more awareness as well, but unfortunately the poaching rate is going up as well as the sort of increase in the help for them.
The rhino has a life expectancy of 45 years and Orana is working to increase its declining population through one of its many programs.
Yeah, breeding rhinos in captivity is very difficult. Unfortunately they are quite choosy about who they like, but we have been successful in having 3 calves here, so we are pretty happy with that. We do try as hard as we can to breed out as many rhinos as we can.
And as for the baby rhino, now 7 months old, well, it's doing well.
Well, Tino, he's doing fantastic. He's running around and giving mum the hard time, things like that. He's doing fantastic, growing at a phenomenal rate.
There's hope now the public can take away some knowledge about the rhino's future and hopefully make a difference.
Lots of things learnt today, I think. Different things about the rhinos that they didn't know, really taking on board the information, so it's fantastic.
As for today, the focus is to care for the 6 they have, with kids giving them, well, some early Christmas presents. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
We understand one was called Carol. Well, still to come here on CTV News, the all-important regional weather forecast. Welcome back to CTV News. Now Gordon Finlater is here with the wrap of the weekend sporting action.
Canterbury's run in this year's ITM Cup was finally brought to a halt yesterday, with Taranaki grabbing their first win in Christchurch since the inception of the Provincial Championship back in 1976. Canterbury, playing their 3rd game in the space of a week, got out of the blocks slowly. Taranaki wasted no time converting an early penalty before a try just on 4 minutes gave them an early 10-point advantage. It didn't take the home side long to answer back though, with Johnny McNichol running onto his own chip and chase to dot down for his 5th try in this year's competition. The opening period of the game continued to be frantic, and Taranaki were the next to score when Kurt Baker crossed the line on the 20-minute mark.
Great stuff from Tahuriorangi.
Trailing 13 points to 17 at the break, Canterbury would get themselves to within a point early in the second period, with the boot of Tom Taylor continuing to produce the goods. Just minutes later, Taranaki seized the initiative, Blade Thompson finishing off a well-worked team try to put the visitors out to an 8-point lead.
Try 5.
Canterbury continued to show resolve though, going punch for punch, resulting in a try to young winger Mitchell Suckling.
McNichol, quick hands, that'll do! Marshall Suckling!
That would be the end of the scoring though, as both teams' defences decided to turn up in the final stages. A line out on Taranaki's 22 in the final minute was Canterbury's last chance to steal victory, but it wasn't to be, with the Naki competing to turn the ball over and secure a historic win at AMI Stadium. The final score, Taranaki 24, Canterbury 21. To Rugby League, and the Canterbury Bulls remain unbeaten in the National Premiership after a win over the Orcas in Wellington. The 40 points to 18 victory now means that the Bulls are just one win away from a guaranteed berth in the competition final. Canterbury have 2 games remaining in round robin, with second placed Counties Manukau their opposition at AMI Stadium this weekend. Well, pool now, and Christchurch's Steve Denton took home the National 8-Ball Super League title after 3 days of gruelling competition at the Woolston Workingmen's Club. Denton went unbeaten through 15 weeks of regional competition and remained so over the 3 days of nationals. Denton faced tough opposition in the final stages of the tournament, taking on Manawatu's Baden Jackson in the semi-finals. Jackson was fresh off a 13-zip win in the quarters, and although Denton got out to an early lead, Jackson continued to keep himself in the match. The tournament final turned out to be just as nail-biting, with Denton taking a 9-7 win over Otago's Simon Singleton. Full coverage of the tournament's semi-final and final can be seen right here on CTV starting next Tuesday. And finally tonight, Canterbury will not feature in this year's Women's Provincial Rugby Playoffs after their 3rd loss of the season on Saturday. The 32-18 defeat at the hands of Wellington means that with just 1 game remaining, the side are now mathematically out of the playoff hunt. Canterbury will now turn their attention to finishing on a high when they face Manawatu at home this Saturday. Well, you're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Findlater for CTV Sport.
And now time for the region's weather forecast.
Kia ora Canterbury. Well, today, what a lovely day it was. Lots of sunshine out there. We did see a few isolated frosts this morning and a few coastal breezes this afternoon for some. Now, today's highs 14 degrees for everyone here in South Canterbury, apart from you, Twizel. You took out 11 today. Central Canterbury, Christchurch on 15 degrees. However, 14 though for Akaroa, Leeston, Darfield and Ashburton, and Methven, 13 degrees for you. Heading further north, 14 for Kaikoura and Cheviot, 15 degrees for you, Hanna Springs, Amberley, Culverden, Rangiora and Oxford. And over to the Alpine region, a little bit cooler here, 11 degrees for Arthur's Pass and Mount Cook and 12 for you, Lake Tekapo. Now tomorrow of Timaru is looking lovely and sunny, light winds breezing through the day and 15 degrees for your Tuesday high, 2 for your morning start. Spring is here for you as well, Ashburton. Sunshine with a few cloudy patches in the morning and northeasterly winds breezing through the afternoon with 16 degrees for your high. Christchurch, you can also expect to see a little bit of sun coming your way. 16 degrees is your expected high and 4 for your morning low there. And to Kaikoura, there will be a little bit of cloud in the morning, but that will be burning off during the day. A lovely 15 degrees for you. Now the rest of the Canterbury region can also expect that sunshine. South Canterbury, 16 degrees is the high there for Temuka and Geraldine. A little bit of a contrast from the last week's rain there. Central Canterbury, sunny skies with northeasterly winds for Akaroa and Leeston. Methven on 15 degrees there with northerly winds, and Darfield 16 degrees for your high. Heading further north, that sun continues. 16 degrees is the expected high for everyone here. A few cloudy patches for Amberley, Rangiora and Oxford, but a pretty good Tuesday. And over to the Alpine region, sunny skies there for you, Arthur's Pass 12 degrees for your high and a few westerly winds breezing through. Now Wednesday it just keeps getting better. 19 degrees is the high there for Christchurch, 18 for Ashburton and Timaru. A few cloudy skies and that cloud will be increasing during the day, but wonderful sunshine. Sunshine coming our way on Thursday as well. 20 degrees is the high there for Christchurch. Get your sundresses out, ladies. 18 for everyone else there. Looking to the rest of the Canterbury region on Wednesday, those northerly winds increasing during the day with the cloudy patches also increasing, but lovely sun peeking through those clouds. Thursday, there could be a chance spillover of rain in the morning. However, a mostly dry day predicted with northerly winds dying out and a few gentle sea breezes coming through. So over the next few days we are expecting that lovely sunshine, and it is daylight savings, so we do get to enjoy that sun for a little bit longer in the evenings. Bring on those spring and summer barbecues, I say. And that's your weather update for Monday.
Thanks, Mercy, and that is CTV News for Monday. Have a great night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.